I've had a really difficult time being able to communicate with my mom. I know that she's very, very hard on me. And I know, like, I'm her only child, so I feel like a lot of her frustration she takes out on me, and so it really frustrates me and makes me sad because, I do really love her, and, I feel as if I'm her biggest support system, but because of the fact that she got remarried, her priorities have kind of changed a little bit. It's been really difficult to kind of have a good relationship with her because he's kind of gotten in between our relationship.
So what I'm hearing from you is there's a lot of hurt, a lot of sadness. And hearing you, I feel that there's like some similarity to Kim's story. So I'm wondering if you two can talk to each other and discuss those feelings and how they affect both of you guys. So I'm wondering if you both can talk about it.
I guess I get what she's saying because, with my mom starting to date, like, things have changed and they're not the way that I remember them. And so, like, I feel like he gets right in the middle, and that's the most frustrating part because me and my mom were never extremely close. We were a whole lot closer than we are now. And I feel like it's all his fault. Like, it's really annoying.
Yeah, I feel as if, like, when it comes to conflict between my mom and I, like, he, like, literally physically gets in the middle of our conflict. And that makes it difficult for us to be able to keep a relationship because he's just drawn that huge barrier between us. And I don't feel as if I could come to my mom and talk to her and communicate with her as I did when she wasn't married. So it really just makes it hard. It makes it difficult to be able to have a relationship or even want one, for that matter, with her because she just kind of devalues what I have to say.
So, hearing both of your guys' stories, it seems that there's that love and hate, and it can be difficult in a relationship, and it's very common in a family that you feel that love and that hate, and you guys need to realize that that's very normal, and that you guys should not feel like it's out of your control. So I've been feeling kind of dumb and a little conflicted because I really, really love my mom, but then she makes the dumbest decisions, and I just absolutely cannot stand her. I don't want to be around her, and I don't understand how someone can love and hate someone. It just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like I'm just being dumb.
So what I'm hearing is that you really do love your mom, but a lot of the time she makes some decisions that kind of affects your relationship with her, and it kind of frustrates you because you don't understand sometimes where she's coming from. This is pretty common within many families, and I'm wondering if there's anyone else in the group that can attest to Carla's feelings and maybe have similar situations in their home.
I mean, I guess, like, I'm more frustrated with my mom because I feel like all growing up, like, there was never a communication problem. Like, we always were able to handle things. And now with her new boyfriend, like, that's changed because, we're not allowed to talk about things that are going to frustrate him, or, she has to come to me with his problems. So it's really annoying. And so I'm really frustrated because she's not the mom that I remember. Like, this is not how I remember my mom. So, yeah, I guess I'm frustrated too. A little different, I guess, but yeah, it's really annoying.
So I'm hearing that you're pretty frustrated because due to the fact that your mother has a boyfriend, it seems as if he's put kind of a breach in you guys' communication, and it's been pretty difficult to communicate with her like you used to before he came into the picture. That's that can definitely cause a lot of conflict in the home. Is there anyone else in the group that has any conflicting situations that they would like to talk about?
Well, no offense, Kim, but I feel like my situation's worse. Like, my mom and I, we just can't see eye to eye, and I feel like we're starting to get physical, which is kind of weird, I guess, because we never had that, and I just think it's worse. I'm sorry, Kim. I just feel like it's worse.
So I'm seeing that you kind of feel like your situation is a little bit worse because it's causing some physical conflict in the home. I know that when it comes to
So what I'm hearing is that, everybody in the group has a different situation when it comes to conflict in the home. For some, it sounds like it seems much more verbal. For others, it may be tending to kind of lean more towards a physical altercation. And so I understand that each individual is going to have a very different experience. But I want to remind everybody in the group that we all have a common experience with the conflict in the home. We've already talked quite extensively about some of the feelings of frustration and anger and hurt, and I think that's kind of that common tie that we need to remember as we go through group, because no two situations are going to be identical, but we really need to be able to feel safe and open to be able to talk about things. So I'm wondering if when we begin to make those comparisons, whether that's actually said in group or it's something that's internally happening, how does that make everybody else in the group feel?
Well, I know that, I have a lot of conflict in, my home as well. And it kind of makes me feel uncomfortable, and it kind of devalues what I go through. No, my home situation isn't physical, and no, I'm not really upset about the decisions that my mom or, my parents makes, but, I still have a lot of internal conflict with, how I grew up and how, my mom treated me, and, so it's really tough, and it makes it difficult to be able to express myself because I feel like, my opinion is going to be criticized and that it's not important as everyone else's.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is that you feel like, anything that you can contribute in group, if it is devalued or you feel that it's not being accepted or heard by everybody else in the group, it can be really hard to want to share.
Yes.
And I think that's something that, we need to address. So how do you think as a group we can kind of overcome that? Because it seems like, in a situation where you're in a group, especially about families, it's hard to share, right? Because this is really personal. This is really something that you have to live with day in and day out, and it's hard to want to talk about it. But we've been doing a really good job of setting that base of being able to come and be open and honest with each other. And so I'm kind of wondering what would help the group feel more comfortable being able to share and being able to talk.
I think that, first of all, I feel like we really need to have a better connection between us. And it's hard to share when you feel like others don't value you, or I feel really scared.